He, of course, had a recurring role on The Cosby Show. Was anyone aware of shenanigans going on?
You know, we weren't aware of any of those things. And let me just say, as a husband and as a father of a 10-year-old daughter, I think we need to begin the conversation of making women feel safe enough to come forward. And when women do take payoffs for situations that they say happened, what it does is it unfairly puts under scrutiny those women that do come forward. So we need to begin to talk about how we make our women feel safe to come forward.
Well, I will say, I've said it a million times, which is, you know, you must, if you had anything you think was a sexual assault, any sort of assault, go to the emergency room, collect the data, get the kit done. People are they're very caring there. They understand how to handle these things. And at least you have that done if you ever decide you need to press charges. I mean, you and I deal with this all the time.
That's right. And unfortunately, Dondre's right. There is so much stigma still about coming forward. Even in the questioning of what happened, there is always some type of assumption or insinuation that somehow a behavior that they did led to that happen to them, whether it's the way they dressed or whatever.
We have this weird, even women do it to themselves. They blame themselves. They blame,
yes.
It's weird. They take responsibility for everything that happens to them.
And then they'll take it back, and then they'll change the story.
There's a weird thing. If you imagine he's sort of telling you it didn't happen, he's a very powerful man you admire, it would get confusing for a woman.
Absolutely.
But the other thing, when I was reading these depositions today with female colleagues, the men were like, oh, God, oh, my God, what an idiot. You know, but the women were having like a visceral, physical reaction, like, oh, this is like creepy and very
it's violating. You can't even, unless you've been through it, you can't even imagine someone taking your body and you are just rendered helpless. I don't even want to think about what I would feel like.
I also think that the air of invincibility that at least his remarks kind of gave off. He was indignant to the fact that he was being charged
because
with
he still doesn't feel like he did anything wrong. And unfortunately, that is a thought that still carries on today. You hear it in music where men are casually talking about slipping things in girls' drinks, and it's just, we need to talk about the definition of rape as well.
Audience, yes, sir.
I think that's a good point. That's my point, is that I don't really think it was rape in the sense where each of these women, I read each of the 42 statements, they willfully went to his hotel room. And I'm just thinking, in a hotel, there's a bedroom, there's a bathroom. You're either going to use one or the other or both. Why would you willfully go to somebody's hotel room thinking that you're going to get an audition and all this stuff? You know what I mean?
That's just not true. That's just not true.
What? It's not true.
That
Did he
they
drag
all
them
went
up there?
to his hotel room. Many of them went to his dressing room because they were told they were going to get a job. They met him in a restaurant.
How are you going to get a job in a dressing room?
They met him in a restaurant.
How are you getting a job in a dressing room? That doesn't make sense.
Because they're an actress.
You do not get a job in somebody's dressing room.
Okay.
You don't get a job in somebody's hotel room.
It is a public.
I'm not saying that they're.
You can yell over me, or you could actually listen to the facts,
I'm saying,
sir.
but there is complicity. I read the facts. Okay.
Okay.
I
Really?
One at a time.
All 47?
I read.
Okay. Okay. You have not read all 47 because you're
One at a time.
I don't think it's rape. I think they willfully went to the hotel room and something happened.
Okay, you can.
And hold on. And if he's guilty, he deserves to go down.
Okay.
But I think they're not. They're not innocent.
Sir, thank you. Lisa, respond.
Okay, I just get really tired day after day of being told that when you have sex with a woman who's unconscious, it's not rape, or it's shenanigans, or it's sexual escapades. We live in a rape culture, and everybody who says that is contributing to the rape culture. Rape is rape. We have to call it what it is. Otherwise, we disrespect the 47 women who have had the guts to come forward.
Judy?
Dr. Drew, he just actually proved my point of what I was talking about earlier. Just because a woman willingly goes to a hotel room, does that mean that they absolutely consented to sex? Can't they change their mind even if they thought something might happen? Can't they say, you know what, I don't want that anymore? And then when you bring alcohol and drugs into the mix, they can no longer consent.
You know,
rape.
I can't help but mention the fact that a lot of the moral lines get blurred when we are fans of certain celebrities. Like, has anybody just not mentioned the fact that during this entire time he was a married man? And if I'm a young actress, in Hollywood and a known married actor says, oh, no, I'd love to help you work on your lines, I don't think that every girl thinks to themselves, I'm definitely going to get some sex. They may be thinking to themselves, oh, maybe Bill Cosby's going to help me with my lines.
His public persona this is a straight, America's dad. Who's not having sex with me, Dondre?
I think, Dr. Drew, some of the pushback that we're getting from our audience and even people across our country is that sometimes you know, we are getting a feeling like some of the women have used some of this as an opportunity for them to forward whatever their position is, and there is room for that.